Dear student, today we will discuss biomolecules. Now, biomolecules deals with the biochemistry in which we will study the composition of biomolecules and how they participate in various reactions which occurs in the body. Biomolecules are the chemical compound found in living organisms, and these include chemicals that are composed mainly of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur and phosphorus. Biomolecules are the building blocks of life and perform important function in the living organism. Carbohydrate, proteins, lipid and nucleic acid are some of the most important biomolecules that occurs in the body. Now they are categorized into two categories, micromolecules and macromolecules. Micromolecules are the small size, low molecular weight compound. Weight is usually less than 1000 Dalton with simple structure. Whereas macromolecules, they are large size, high molecular weight compound where the molecular weight is more than 10,000 Daltons and with a complex structure. Macromolecules are highly soluble in intracellular fluid, whereas the macromolecules are insoluble in intracellular fluid. Example, let's see the example of micromolecules, glucose, amino acid, fatty acids, and in case of macromolecules, starch, proteins, and lipid. Now let's discuss the carbohydrate. So what we know about the carbohydrate is that they are the main source of energy and they are synthesized by the plant during photosynthesis, and they constitute about 80% of the total dry weight in the plant. Now we will study the chemistry part of carbohydrate. So if you look at the composition of carbohydrate, basically they are the compound of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, in which hydrogen oxygen ratio is 2:1, which is same as water. So that's why they are also known as hydrate of carbon, and they are represented by general formula CnH2ON, where N is the number of carbon atoms. Now, they are also known as saccharides. Saccharides stand for sugar because they are sweet in taste. Most of the carbohydrate, they are sweet in taste. Now, we will see the classification of carbohydrates. So, if you look at the classification, on the basis of what is the functional group which is present in carbohydrate, they are divided in two categories, aldose and ketose. If they have aldehyde group, then they are known as aldose, and if they have ketone group, then they are known as ketose. Then on the basis of the sugar unit, okay, they are categorized into three categories: monosaccharide, oligosaccharide and polysaccharide. Monosaccharide, they consist of one sugar unit. Oligosaccharide consist of 2 to 10 sugar units. Polysaccharide consist of more than 10 sugar units. So you can see here this is one sugar unit, and monosaccharide, they cannot be hydrolyzed further. Oligosaccharides, we have 2 to 10 sugar. So if they have 2 sugar, means the two monosaccharide are joined by a bond. This bond is called glycosidic bond. Okay, then two sugar unit are known as disaccharide. When they contain 3 sugar unit, known as trisaccharide, and when they contain 4 sugar unit, they are called tetrasaccharide. Similarly, polysaccharide, they contain more than 10 sugar unit which are bonded by. So here you can see monosaccharides which cannot be hydrolyzed because they do not contain any glycosidic bond, whereas oligosaccharide and polygosaccharide, they have glycosidic bond between the two sugar units, so they can be hydrolyzed. Okay, now we will be talking about further monosaccharides. So if you see the physical property, they are colorless, sweet, they diffuse through semi-permeable membrane and they exhibit isomerism. If you look at disaccharide and oligosaccharide and polysaccharide, they cannot diffuse through the semi-permeable membrane. So let's discuss monosaccharide. Now on the basis of carbon atoms, whether they contain 3, 4, 5. If they contain 3 carbon atoms, they are known as trioses. So you just put in the formula C3H6O3 in the journal formula, you'll get this formula. So whatever number of different structures containing hydroxy group, because they are hydrates of sugar, are possible, they are all trioses. Then tetroses with 4 carbon, 5 carbon, pentoses, 6 carbon, hexoses, and 7 carbon, haptoses. Now trioses are the smallest carbohydrate that exist in nature. If you try to think of the carbohydrate with 2 carbon, it is not possible, because the structure which is formed is acetic acid, and moreover they exhibit either aldose or ketose form. So the ketose sugar is only possible with 3 carbons. So they minimum contain 3 carbons. So they are the smallest carbohydrate that exist in nature. Now let's talk about the structure of trioses. Now if you look at the aldose, so they are the basically hydrates. So they contain C. To every carbon H2O is attached. Okay, and first carbon is the functional group carbon. So when the sugar is aldose, then aldehyde is present at first position. So you have to number the carbon in the sugar right where the functional group is nearby. So here if you look at this, and then each carbon has hydroxy group, that is water molecule attached to it in the uh, molecular bonding. Okay, so this, if you see aldose form and if you name it, then this is known as glyceraldehyde. So glyceraldehyde is a kind of sugar, or you can say it is a carbohydrate. Okay, and it can be written like this in the condensed way. Then ketose form. So the group is present at second position, because ketone structures are like that. Okay, so if you see the ketose form of the same formula, that is C3H6O3, then two forms are possible. One is aldose form and another one is ketose form, and they are isomer of each other. And if you name this, this is known as dihydroxyacetone, because the hydroxy group are situated at 1 and 3 position. Now we'll be talking about the hexoses. So if you see the hexoses, the main hexoses that we have to cover in our syllabus are glucose, galactose, and fructose. Um, they occur in two forms: open chain and closed ring form, because closed ring form is the form uh, which in which the molecules are naturally present. Okay, but open chain, we find the structure more comfortable and easy to understand. So if you look at the open chain, there are again two isomer which are possible in open chain: D form and L form. So what is D form? When the hydroxyl group is situated toward right side of penultimate carbon, that is the lowermost asymmetric carbon, we say it is D form of sugar. And when the OH group is situated toward the left hand side of penultimate carbon, then we say it is the L sugar. Now if you look at the structure of glucose, okay, so this is the structure of glucose. Now let's read the structure of glucose. It consists of 6 carbon. It is a aldose sugar, because at first position CHO, that is aldehyde group, is present. Then you can see second. Okay, so if you read, sixth carbon will always be CH2OH in all the sugar. And um, you can read the structure of glucose like second, 4 and 5. The OH group is situated right hand side, whereas on third carbon it is situated on left hand side. So this is how you have to study the structure of glucose. Okay, now if you see the penultimate carbon, which is the fifth carbon, this is the lowermost asymmetric carbon. The OH is situated right. So when the OH is situated right, it is D form of sugar. So we will say this is D glucose. Okay, and another one is when this OH is situated toward the left hand side, the other things will remain the same. Okay, Only at fifth position the OH is shifted, you can say, toward left hand side and H is shifted toward right hand side. So this forms the L sugar. So there are two isomers which are possible, and they are with respect to the penultimate carbon. Such kind of isomers are known as D and L, and they are called enantiomers. Okay, and D form commonly found in the nature. Now, if you see closed ring form over here, the open chain is converted to ring form, which are of two types. So, two types of rings are possible. One is pyranose ring, another one is furanous ring. Pyranose ring is the hexagonal ring with 5 carbon atom and 1 oxygen atom. Furanous ring is pentagonal ring with 4 carbon atoms and the oxygen atom. So it is like this: hexagonal with 1 oxygen, pentagonal with one oxygen, and rest of the carbon. And they are also written like this. Okay. So pyranose form between the reaction of OH group of 5 and CHO group of first. So if you see 5, OH group of 5 and CHO of 1, when they combine, do the reaction, then the pyranose closed ring is formed. Similarly, the furanose ring is a form between OH group of C4 and CHO group of C1 carbon in pentose. Okay, glucose is the hexose. If we say pentose ribose sugar, which is present in RNA, is a pentose sugar. So over there the furanous ring is formed. It is also formed in hexose, but between C5 carbon and C2 in hexose. So it does not form in glucose, but it forms in fructose. Okay, so between the 2 and 5, so 4 carbon plus 1 oxygen. So this is pentagonal ring which is formed. Okay, so this is what the hexose is. We are studying two different from open chain to closed chain. Now we will see how the open chain form is converted into the closed chain form. Okay, so now you look at the structure of glucose again. Okay, so how you are reading first carbon, I have written the extended form. CHO group is represented like this, C double bond O and H. Then second, third, fourth, fifth carbon. Now the reaction occurs between first carbon and fifth carbon, you can see over here. And when it occurs, then you can see how the making and breaking of bond is occurring over here. Okay, so the H which is located at fifth position will go at first position. Now the ring is formed between 1 and 5. Okay, along with this O. So the ring is formed like this: carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and O. Now you see whatever is situated at right hand side will go down. Okay, so 1 to 4 carbon, whatever is situated at right hand side will go down. So OH go down, this OH will go down, this H will go down, this OH will go down. Now if you see the fifth carbon here, the flip occurs. So whatever is down will go at the top, and whatever is at the other hand will go down. So CH2OH will come here. CH2OH, here the C is sixth carbon. Okay, so this is how it will form. And if you look at this structure, since this is D-glucose, and now this D-glucose open chain is converted into the ring form. Okay, so this is pyranose ring which is formed. Okay, and this structure is called D-glucopyranose. Okay, we also say it is alpha D glucose. Okay, now because at carbon 1 again the isomerism is possible, this OH can be located downward or will change its orientation and can be located upward. Okay, so OH and H can change their position because we are assuming these molecules are present in 3D space. Okay, so they can change their orientation. Now whenever they change the orientation, every time isomerism is possible. So OH is located down, we say this is alpha form. If it changes the orientation and it is located up, okay, then we say this is beta form. So how we can name this is alpha D glucose, this is alpha D glucopyranose, and this is beta D glucose or beta D glucopyranose. Usually we will say alpha D glucose and beta D glucose. Okay, because when you say it is alpha D glucose, it is understood that pyranose ring has already formed. So you can say it is alpha D glucose or beta D glucose depending on the position of OH at first carbon. So when the isomerism is across the first carbon, then we say the alpha and beta forms are called anomers. Okay, and if you see the alpha D glucose, it is also represented like this. So you may find these kind of structure, you have to guess, because here only the OH containing groups, their bonding is shown over here. CH2OH, OH, OH, OH. Okay. Now structure of the three hexoses, glucose, galactose and fructose. Glucose is called grape sugar or dextrose because it is mainly the D-glucose occur in all the plants and animals. Galactose is called brain sugar because it is utilized during the development of brain. Fructose is called fruit sugar as it is present in fruit, and it is 73% sweeter than sucrose. Okay, if you look at the structure of glucose, as I told you, 2, 4 and 5, the position carbon, the OH are situated toward the right hand side. At 6th position, CH2OH is present, which is present in all the sugars, and at first, since it is aldose, so aldehyde group is present. Now if you see the structure of galactose, the difference is only at carbon number 4, where the OH position, OH and H position are altered. In galactose, the OH is situated toward the left hand side and H is situated. So they are also, glucose and galactose are also isomer of each other. Now if you look at the fructose, it is same as glucose, okay, in the position of OH. Only the difference is first and second carbon, since it is a ketose. So the functional group is present at second carbon, and CH2OH is present at first carbon. Rest of the things are same. So this is how you can remember their structure. Okay. So now here you can see the conversion of fructose to ring form, because fructose is a ketose sugar. So here the bond, when it is converted into ring form, the bonding occur between the second and fifth carbon. So 4 carbon are involved along with 1 O. So furanose ring is formed in this way. Okay, so you can look at the position. Same way the glucose is converted into ring form, the fructose is converted into ring form. So here the first carbon does not participate in the ring, so CH2OH, you can see second carbon participate, and first carbon is located here, and then 3, 4, 5, and this one is the sixth carbon. And then you can see the position, whatever is at the bottom will be located here up. This is sixth carbon, and this structure is called alpha D fructofuranose, or we can say alpha D glucose. If you alter the position, OH is situated upward and CH2OH is situated downward at carbon 2, then we will say it is beta D fructose. Okay, now this alpha and beta is very important when we will discuss the glycosidic bond formation. So you must know what are alpha and beta. Now again ribose, again the structure is furanose because it is 5 carbon. So since it is the aldose sugar, and when it is converted into ring form, the bonding occur between the carbon 1 and 4. So 4 carbon are involved. So this is how it is formed. And similarly, the galactose, this is how it is formed. This is alpha D galactose. You can make out how the beta D galactose is formed. Okay, and ribose is the sugar which is present in RNA. So here we complete carbohydrate part 1. Next we'll continue with the carbohydrate part 2. Thank you.